Hello.
Hello, Tom.
What are you up to?
Well, I'm just clearing an entrance into the barn next to the cottage where we're going to be working. Now, there's a good reason for that, because today we're going to be emptying out the cottage. There's too much stuff in there. We're going to put a lot of the stuff in here, some over in the open barn maybe. So yeah, just get it cleared, because today we're going to be putting the window in, the front window. So I've been down to the Bricko, which is the builder's merchants, purchased one. I've got one as close as I could get to the size. The sun's out, it's not going to rain, so today we're going to empty it out and we're going to have a go at fitting that window. So I'm going to get cracking on. Can you hear Freddy? Freddy the Frog, yeah. Right, we also have an intruder in one of the buildings. Now I'm going to creep upstairs into the cottage and show you who it is. Up we go. Let's just take a little look through this hole. There's a little cat. Oh dear. Yeah, we won't disturb you. Right, let's get back to work. So before we go inside and take out all the stuff that we need to move, I'm going to take that shutter off, which has been mainly acting as a window to keep the weather out. So we're going to get that off, get some natural daylight inside so we can see what we're doing. So let's get this off. It was wedged in, it was only temporary, but that was several years ago, like these temporary jobs go. Okay. Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that window. Why don't I buy a new one, Tom? Right. Oh, there's some spiders there. So thank you to all my Patreons and Buy Me a Coffee pledges. I've now been able to buy myself a new window. Now I did have a look around for second-hand windows in the local ads. Been to a few window yards that rip out windows. But unfortunately I wasn't able to find my size. So, you know, sometimes you do have to buy new things. And yeah, I did this morning. So let me show you what I've got. So here's the window. It's a hardwood window, Bois Exotique. So before we put the window in, we've got to go inside, remove all the stuff out of there so we've got a nice clear space, safe space to work to, and then we'll get the old window out and then we'll get the new window in. Now with these French windows you've got to be careful, because the measurements that you see in the books and online are slightly different to the actual measurements. It's the face measurements that you get online. These are fitted from the inside, so they go into the recess of the reveal. So double check that if you go to the Bricko. Lots of people have been caught out like that.
Sean's pro tip for the day.
Yeah, Sean's pro tip. So, what do you think? What a transformation, I think you'll agree. Yeah, we've stripped it back to the bare bones. Now we can see what we're up against. A little bit of cleaning out, obviously. Yeah, we'll have a closer look at the timbers, make sure they're okay.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a barn full of clutter now. It feels like a house to be renovated.
Potential, yeah, it's got potential now. Before it was, you couldn't see anything, it was just a mess. So yeah, we've got it all outside. Yeah, we can see the dimensions clearly now. So what I have here is an electronic measuring device called a light tool. Always good to know what sort of dimensions you're dealing with, so I'll just have a go with this.
It uses a laser to measure
a laser measurement, yes,
the surface of the room.
So we are looking at approximately 38 square metres surface area.
Yeah. And then obviously upstairs.
Yeah, you got a little bit of difference with the apex of the roof, but the actual floor space is obviously the same. So
but you can't use as much of it.
No, of course not. No, you have to sort of step in from the angles. But yeah, I'll tell you what I will do with this. This really good feature on here is we can determine on how much level or
slope,
as the case may be, how much the slope is really. If the floor isn't level, so I'll just use this again and I'll get a tape measure and work out how much it runs down to the door.
Yes, because on this laser measuring tool there is a little spirit level as well as the laser point.
It's brilliant.
So you can see...
level it off.
Yeah.
And measure off. Right, let me go and get my tape.
Okay.
So we are looking at about 14 inches, which is 350 mil, thereabouts. That's the difference in height. So just to summarise, as you come into the door, the floor slopes up to the back of the house, and that is up about 14 inches higher than the entry point when you come into the door. Now all the clay's got to come out and be lowered down. We're going to damp proof line it, insulate it, and then we've got to lay the tomettes, which are the clay floor tiles down. So
from the convent.
From the convent, yeah. So we've got quite a lot of material to come out of here. So it's going to require a few extra hands. I'll get my trailer set up, some planks straight out the door onto the back of that, and hopefully it will come up fairly easy. Maybe with a pickaxe, might even need a Kango. So yeah, that'll be a fun day. So let's go outside now and have a look at some of the stuff that I've took out of here. Some of the stuff has been in here maybe 10 years, I've forgot all about it, so let's go and see whether it's junk or treasure. So this is all the stuff outside spread everywhere. Now some of these things I remember putting in there, some I don't. Looking at this, never looked at this before. I think this is the trapdoor for above the staircase. Looking at that, the size and dimension, so we'll maybe turn that into something. Some lovely wide boards there. Just one solid piece, look. That's really quite old, so we'll put that to one side. There's a door there, a pine door we can maybe use for a cupboard. A bit of flooring, we've got a table which I knew about, that's been put in there recently. Now this here, we knew about this. Sam bought this. Sam is my wife. She bought this maybe 3 or 4 years ago. The intentions of refurbishing it and putting it in our kitchen in our cottage. So
our house.
Yeah, our house. And so yeah, that's going to be a good project. So, and what that basically is, it's for making pastry and stuff like that, because it's marble and it keeps it cool. Sorry if I'm a bit blocked up at the minute, I've got a cold, so it's not very clear at the moment.
We're social distancing, aren't we?
Yeah. Right, so yes, we've got lots of pots of paint. Some are good, some are bad, some will be chucked away.
Some are ugly.
Some are ugly, yeah. Oh.
Good, the bad and the ugly.
Now I remember buying this. I bought this from a house clearance. Put it in here and completely forgot all about it. And, oh.
It's quite heavy.
It's very heavy. What it is, oh, Bennett, I'm just about to lift it. Right. It's probably got a few parts missing. I know it's got several pieces of glass missing, but it's got some uplighters here, and I'm not sure whether underneath. Oh no, right, okay, that's what it is. That's the top. That had been suspended from a huge bracket. Now this would have come out of something like a chateau or a manoir. When I bought it, it was out of a barn, so who knows where it's come from. But as I spin it round, this is the underside. It's a little bit bent.
What is it?
It's a light. It's a ceiling light.
Okay.
I forget the name in French. For this
Chandelier?
particular, no, not chandelier. Anyway, leave a comment. I can lift it up. So basically, that would have gone like that. So you've got to use your imagination a little bit, but maybe we can do something with that. And oh, there's a bit of broken glass. So yeah, that could be a good upcycling project. Yeah, I know I'll find a bit of copper in there. Now I remember buying this. I bought another one which is just down there. I'll show you that in a minute. Me and Billy, we was out antique hunting, and we found these, believe it or not, in a disused toilet inside a brocante. So
chamber pot maybe?
no, this is quite a special pan really. It needs refurbishing. It's going to go to my refurbishers, and look out for this one, because once this is renovated this will be an absolute stunning piece. Like I say, you have to use your imagination with these things, but you'll be amazed on how that will come up. Right, so I knew about that. So once it's all finished and polished and all ready to be used again, it will be made available in my Etsy shop, Sean's World Etsy shop. So yeah, there'll be a link in the description for that. Right, what else have we got? Let's have a look round. So I've got this section of a butcher's block. Now originally it would have been from a huge butcher's block, but I managed to get a section of it. Now that's the cross section. Never really looked at one before, but they have metal bars going from side to side to keep them clamped together. So I'm going to cut this down. I purchased this separately. It's actually for a butcher's block. It's a modern stand for one, so there'll be another project here. Maybe end up in the kitchen in here. So yep, that's a good find. Here's the other pan I purchased. So we've got 2 of those. That'll also be available in the Etsy store. This is an interesting piece. Now this, I believe, is a bain-marie, and the person that I bought it from said it's army issue, quite a rare piece. I think the date is, oh yeah, 1926. So this was used in the army to cook stuff up on.
For the French troops?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. I'll have to research into that code, but make a lovely planter or something like that. But yeah, they're good treasures. The rest, oh, there's a tripod table over here that I've got out of a house clearance. So this is the tripod base. It hasn't got a top on it, so I just thought the proportions of it were really interesting. Nice and chunky. Probably paint it up. Get a nice top for it. Yeah, rather unusual piece.
What would you do with that?
I don't know whether I'd put it inside. Maybe could be stained, could go outside with a metal top on it. Don't know, I'll get these things and I'll think about that afterwards. Hence all of this stuff. So these are rather quirky. Probably still works. Just needs a new wick. Storm lantern. That can probably go outside in the little A-frame barn out there. So yeah, we'll do something with that. Oh, never looked in here.
What is it, like a little oven?
I've not, to be honest with you, I don't know. It's got Godin on it, which are oven and fire makers. It's empty inside, but when I bought it I just sort of liked the 50s styling of it. I thought maybe that'll make a nice little kitchen unit for something, maybe for a gas bottle, because
yeah, I think this lifts up.
Right, it does. He knows more than me. I taught him well, haven't I?
Younger eyes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, so it's just a work surface.
Strange.
Yeah. That'd be ideal for your guest bottle, because they're quite unsightly, I agree. So yeah, you don't see many of them about anymore. Right, I think now what we better do is get rid of all this. Put it in the other barns and get that window in. What do you say, Tom?
Yep, makes sense.
Let's do it. Oh no, I hate this part. So we've had to start filming on another day because the rain came down and we had everything outside. That's all packed away now, so we're on day 2. Now today we're going to get the old window out. The rain's going to stay off for a few hours. Old window out, new one in, so I think we better get started before it does rain again. I think once we remove this old window, I think it'll let in a lot more natural light. But until then, we're going to rely on the batteries. I think I'll take this down as well, so we don't hit our head. A bit of a sweep down, brush it all outside, and get this old window out of it. It's made of oak, it's lasted probably well over 100 years, but it served its purpose. Now it's time to move on with a new one. Right, probably put a mask on, it's going to be quite dusty. I'm looking forward to this. Let's see whether I'll measure up to the job. I don't like creepy crawlies above my head. Don't mind the little ones, if they're as big as my hand, then ooh. That'll come in handy. Auger bit for drilling by hand. Yeah. So I'm just going to bar the outer frame off now. It's fixed in the side with metal anchors. Now this is a little bit overkill, but I can't find my smaller one, so I'll just be careful with this one, and hopefully it will just come out. That was easier than I thought. Always a bonus. This piece stops you damaging the side and gives you a bit more leverage. Hey. That's it, it's out. Just got to deal with these metal side fixings. They're tapered, so sometimes you can tap them each way and just work them out loose. If not, we'll have to cut them off. Yeah, right, we'll let the dust settle. We'll have a clean up first, let the dust settle, and then we'll offer up the window, the new one. Right, where's my broom? So I've just had to cut out the inside window board. The front part near the window was obviously damaged. There was woodworm in there.
It was rotten.
Basically it was rotten. Well, part of it was rotten. The rest of it was over an inch thick oak, which I had to cut out by hand, so I had to have a little sit down and a glass of water because it is getting warm here. But anyway, most of the cutting out is done now, just a little tidy down. We're going to have a look inside and I'll show you what I mean. So this is where the board was. It was rotten at the front edge, so it all had to come out. Anyway, it's out now. The new window's ready to go in. Now, when I purchased this window, it was the closest I could get to the dimensions. Now, I knew it was going to be not tall enough in its height, but that's not an issue. I can always build the seal up. I've got a nice bit of mahogany, so that's going to go on the base underneath our new window. That will give us the correct height. Inside, it's all going to be boxed out stud work and dry line, so we're not too worried about the levels inside. As long as the window is behind the face of the brick, that's fine. I can build the head down a little bit and I can build the seal up. So
what's that mean in layman's terms, basically?
Basically, I have to put a bit of wood at the top and bottom to make it fit.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're just going to erect this scaffold. It's always important to have a safe platform to work from. I'm going to get it erected and I'm going to mark off the window. I've got a little bit of cutting to do. At the moment, I've done what we call a dry fit, which is no cement or silicones at this stage. Putting it all together to make sure it works, and then I'll unscrew it all and then fit it properly a bit later on. So we just get the scaffold together. We'll have a safe platform and then we can do our work. So let's get that done, Tom. Yeah?
Yep.
We'll have to put the camera on the stand.
Okay. Spot on. Spot on. Spot on. And spot on. Right, I'll just get this wedged so it's sturdy and in place. Drop the windows on and then see whether it operates freely. So I'll put the windows on the hinges?
Yeah, put the windows on the hinges. And like I say, this is a dry fit at the moment, so it's just secure, but it's not actually fixed permanently in place yet. So
what are you going to use to fix it in place?
Well, the bottom seal that I've added, that's going to be bedded in with cement. I've got a silicone, the top piece of timber, the head which goes across on top of here. That's got to be painted as well, primed, and foamed around the outside. And some fixings in. So
what kind of foam is that? Expanding
foam, yeah. Just stops all the drafts and everything, and we'll get some fixings in it as well. So yeah, but that'll be later on.
And if you're wondering how we're getting this shot,
levitating.
Yeah, got a really tall stick. Stuck the camera on the end of it. We could have just done that, couldn't we? Instead of...
Well, I will use the scaffolding when I'm working on the outside, so just not on this particular job. So let's get these windows onto the hinges. Always a little bit tricky. One. I'll have to time lapse this one. That's it, it's on.
So the window is now in. We are moving along with this project. I'm really pleased with how that's gone in. So yeah, one more thing to do is put the handle on and yeah, let's see if it operates okay. Nice. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much. I think you'll agree, this really does start to feel like a proper project now. We've got the window in, we've got natural daylight. It just feels, I don't know, more homely. I might be being silly, but it certainly feels like it. So we're well on our way to getting this project on its way. So
yeah, there's just a couple of finishing touches that need doing with the window, of course.
Yeah, so there's just a few finishing touches that need doing with the window. We've got some foaming, silicone and some fixings to go in. But other than that, yep, it's fine. It all worked perfectly and it's gone in relatively easy. So yeah, weather's not on our side. It looks like it's going to rain, so I can't attempt any of the silicone in today. So thank you all so much. Your donations have helped me purchase this and get this project really up and running. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.